Well, Ahmet Sozen is a professor of international relations at the Eastern Mediterranean University. He joins me now live from Famagusta in the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Thanks so much for being with us. So it sounds like a slim majority, at least, of Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots, has given up on the idea of a united island. I mean, what do you think do you think it's good for Cyprus, and why?
Well, it seems like the pendulum has swung again. If you look at the election results in the last 20 years, there was a kind of swing from left to right, from right to left, and it's always been a slim majority. I don't think that there is a clear majority deciding on the two-state solution, but simply a lot of Turkish Cypriots are frustrated, just like Turkish foreign policy, that they have frustrated from all the attempts, starting from 2004, when the Greek Cypriot majority rejected the UN plan, and 2017, when the international conference collapsed in Crans-Montana. So more and more Turkish Cypriots, I believe, want to try some alternative solution models this time.
Okay, so an alternative solution being a two-state solution. I mean, ideally, what would that look like?
Well, look, the two-state solution is the #1 preference of Turkish Cypriots, as the polls showed, which I was also involved in polling on both sides of the island. But the ideal solution for Greek Cypriots is a unitary state. But either of these alternative solutions wouldn't have the chance to pass from both sides. The practical solution that was supported so far is a federal solution, which is the second preference for both Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. So in a way, ideally, a compromise solution should be the one, but unfortunately, the Greek Cypriots have not been ready for that. If they are convinced somehow, meaning the Greek Cypriots, to accept a two-state solution, that's fine. That's the way to go. But I have serious doubts, given the public opinion polls that we have conducted on both sides of the island. Greek Cypriots who have problems accepting a federal solution based on power sharing, accepting a two-state solution would be more difficult for them. So in my opinion, the upcoming informal five-partite meeting that the UN Secretary General is going to call for, that would include the two Cypriot sides as well as the three guarantor powers, I think will be a decisive meeting as to see what the future basis is going to be if the peace talks will resume, whether it's going to be a bizonal, bicommunal federation, or whether the Greek Cypriots will be ready for an alternative, which might be a two-state solution. As I said, as somebody who has been working on the Cyprus problem for the last 3 decades, I have serious doubts that the Greek Cypriots would be ready, or any Greek Cypriot political elite will have the courage to accept and start discussing two-state or confederal solution on the Cyprus issue.
Right. I mean, if we can, go back to the very beginning, when the island was united and Turkish Cypriots very distinctly felt that they were not being represented as they had been promised under the shared power agreement. They were being further and further marginalized, breaking with accords that had been laid out at the time for equal power sharing, really, between Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots. Is that all still there? I mean, is that really what the situation would still be today if there were to be a reunified Cyprus, that the Turkish Cypriots feel they would just be again marginalized by Greek Cypriots who just don't want to share the island equally with their Turkish counterparts?
Well, simply the security considerations of Turkish Cypriots' fears and concerns that they would be marginalized again are still there. We have to say that. And the Greek Cypriot political elite has not done a good job in alleviating, in sort of getting rid of those Turkish Cypriot concerns. So the onus is on the shoulders of Greek Cypriot side, as the UN Secretary General, former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan openly wrote in his report right after the 2004 referendum that if the Greek Cypriots are ready to share power in a federal solution with Turkish Cypriots, these need to be demonstrated by deeds, not just by words. So I know that we are not in the 1960s or 1970s, that at least some Greek Cypriot political elite took lessons from the past. Some public opinion polls show that now there is a good percentage of Greek Cypriots who might accept a federal solution. Simply, we have to keep open mind and have honest discussion. And I think that this five-partite informal meeting would provide exactly that platform and that opportunity for all the five parties to sort of spill all the beans.
Right.
And see if they can meet in a mutually agreeable vision for the island.
Ahmet, Sozen, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate your insights.